Mining is quite possibly the most important part of the cryptocurrency ecosystem that not only helps with distribution as well as decentralization, but much more. So what exactly is mining? Put simply, mining is a process by which specialized processors use their computational power in order to add information to the Litecoin blockchain. During this process, a few things happen. New Litecoins are generated, the Litecoin network is strengthened, and legitimate transactions are both verified and approved. Originally, mining was done using CPUs, but this method proved rather inefficient, and as more people began mining, this was eventually replaced by the faster and more efficient graphics cards that offered a greater amount of power for a similar price point. As interest in Litecoin continued to grow, ASICs, or application-specific integrated circuit chips, were introduced. These were designed specifically for mining Litecoin, and drastically increased overall efficiency. However, they do come with a hefty price tag, making mining inaccessible for anybody who isn't willing to invest thousands of dollars into just getting started. The Litecoin network is secured by complex mathematical algorithms which these processors hash and solve. Approximately every 2.5 minutes, the network forms a new random complex mathematical equation. Everyone who is contributing to securing the network at that time then rushes to try and solve it. And on average, every 2.5 minutes, someone will guess correctly. This 2.5 minute time is also known as the confirmation time, and that essentially is the process known as mining, and those who help secure the network are similarly known as miners. As a reward for the miner's hard work, the one miner who does guess correctly will receive some Litecoins. This is also known as hitting a block. This reward is currently set at 25 Litecoins, but every 4 years that amount will halve due to what is known as the halving, effectively slowing inflation. Mining can also be done in one of two ways. Miners can either directly mine to the Litecoin network by themselves, or they can join a pool. By joining pools, miners collectively use their hashing power to increase their chances of hitting a block before anyone else. The reward is then split between each miner, proportionate to the percentage amount of work he or she put in. Mining in this way is one of several ways to distribute newly generated coins. Litecoin, Bitcoin, and a handful of others use the proof of work method to distribute coins, whereas others use methods such as proof of stake or proof of stake time. As with the network itself, to ensure that someone will hit a block every 2.5 minutes, built into the equation which everyone is trying to solve is a variable called the mining difficulty. This difficulty is adjusted every 2016 blocks, or roughly every 3.5 days for Litecoin, but other coins may vary. This variable is very important because if a large amount of miners or hashing power were to suddenly join the network, more people working on the same equation would theoretically mean it would be solved much faster. The inverse of this is also true. If a large amount of hashing power or miners were to suddenly leave the network, staying at the current difficulty would mean it would take far longer for miners to hit a block. So the difficulty will readjust and recalibrate itself back to every 2.5 minutes per block on average, and thusly in turn keep the confirmation time for transactions constant. And lastly, Litecoin's network is currently sitting at over 1 terahash. This terahash is the collective power of all the miners actively on the Litecoin network helping to secure it. Just to try to put that into some sort of perspective for you, this R9 290 graphics card from AMD, which I purchased for just over £200, only produces around 850 kilohashes. Now, in order to actually reach 1 terahash, I would need 1,176,470 of these just to hit 1 terahash. A strong mining network is also far more resistant to attacks against it from individuals. It also means that the nodes, or miners, can reach a secure, tamper-resistant consensus by which everyone can agree that transactions between addresses are valid. For doing so, miners are additionally paid the transaction fees for these payments. This further serves to encourage more miners to provide security for the Litecoin network and to help keep everything decentralized.